All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and we've got a raid coming in from Terry in Scotland. And you know what? I'll bet you that raid came from, Scotland. Yep. Via Twitch, as it were, and with Terry on that raid, we've got Katie Zora and Pernell Writes Things. So happy to have you here today. Don't know what it's like where you're at, but boy, howdy, it is officially summertime, even if the date of June 21st has not been passed. 82 degrees in Seattle right now. I've got a little video showing just how warm it looks. Because, there's no temper vision, as it were, so you can't really tell, but you can kind of tell either way. We've got a couple other videos on hand, and within those videos, we have some experimental experiments, because here's the deal. For the last infinity, Shock has been saying, and actually, many people have been saying, your audio levels are all messed up, dude. Like, I don't know why, but when it's your face, it's fine. But when we got this other stuff, it gets all, like, not so fine. And the last time that Shock mentioned that, I suddenly had a light bulb that went off, and I might have fixed it. I don't know. We'll find out if I fixed it. But Mama Sean coming in here on the YouTube side saying, hey to Pernell, Terry, and Katie, happy Sunday. Wait, is it No, Mama Sean. You retired, aren't you? So every day is Sunday to you. Every day is Saturday to you. But I think it's Wednesday today. And Lord help me, if it really is Sunday, I am in a whole new world of disbelief of how things went. So yeah, you think you're on a really long weekend. Exactly, Mama Sean. I wish I was on that same weekend as you. And the kitties say meow in your direction there, Pernell. Last night, I don't know how this happened, y'all. Last night, in the middle of the night, like 3:30, the sun comes up early here, but the sun had not even come up yet. Wasn't even thinking about it. Not for a while. And somehow at 3:30 in the morning, my cat came in with a bird that he caught. He ate most of it, minus some feathers that I still need to sweep up. But 3 o'clock in the morning, he's catching birds. I don't even know. All right, let's see here. All right, so now, what am I doing? I know what I'm doing. I'm getting the party started on this long weekend for Mama Sean. Okay, so Terry, part of the reason why my audio sounds different is because I didn't have the background music on. Now that I have the background music on, in theory, nothing has changed on my face. All of my settings on my face have not changed. But Shock, I'm so happy that you're here, because now we can do our experiments. We've got enough people in the room. We can do an audio check. All right, so here is me with generally roughly the same spatial orientations, mic settings that we always have. But now I'm gonna go, let's see here. We're gonna talk about this later today. So I'm gonna do this. Alright, here we go. So right here, we are looking at a picture of a classic car graveyard. That is just an auto body yard right there in Wendell, Idaho. I do not know how to pronounce that. We're going to learn more about this classic car pick apart place in a minute, but my question for you right now is, does my audio, when switching from that scene back over to my face, Oh no, I've got a couple. Okay, all right, we might have issues now that I think about it. Couple questions, I guess. First off, am I reverbing? Because I might be. But that's a new question due to a setting I just noticed. What the real question is my level the same here as it is here? Okay, I am reverbing. Okay, now we're gonna do this. All right, so welcome to optometry auditory style. Is number 1 better? Number 2? Number 1, number 2. Okay, number 2 is better. Number 2 or number 3? Number 2, number 2, number 3 is better. Okay, number 3 or number 1? Number 1 or number 3? Okay, cool. So no more reverb. Excellent. And then back to the original question, which was the levels. Are the levels more consistent between the scenes? Have I fixed the problem of a lower level when I switch off of my face? For those who are wondering, this is off of my face. Now this is on my face. And so are my mic levels stabilized? Because I hear back in the day they were not stable. And so Terry is coming with no change at all. I'm wondering, I'm looking in Shock's direction because she's the one who always brought it up, and I was trying to fix it and make her proud. But Pinnell says things sound the same. Okay, cool. So 2 sets of ears say things sound the same. Okay, I think I know what needs to be done to make that happen. One more extra step, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We'll do it. Now, I don't know, it sounds like you guys were watching a movie, Presents. I don't remember what Presents was about. I feel like I might have it thanks to Terry in Scotland, so I probably won't be showing that anytime soon. I don't know if Bainey was there, or if he's even here. He usually says hi, so I'm guessing he's not. But that's okay. I mean, it's too bad, because I did speak of him today when I was in real life. Because today, I actually took the leap, and I decided to try Too Good To Go, which was a concept that I didn't fully appreciate or understand when Bainey was trying to explain it to me. And at first I just blew him off because I truly didn't realize that it was an international thing. I thought it was something that just happened in Scotland. And then, thanks to a YouTube video, I found out, oh no dude, it happens everywhere. And it does. And here's the little logo. You can go to toogoodtogo.com and find out a little bit more about what this is. But basically, you're gonna, in order to really see what's going on in your area, you're going to have to download the app to your mobile phone, because it is actually a mobile device kind of thing, or meant for. I mean, I guess you can download the app to your computer. I don't know. I downloaded it to my phone, searched my area. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of options in my part of town, but from what I understand, a fork ton of options in the North Seattle area. Grocery stores, lots of, there's lots of places. Here, there's only a couple pizza places, a Mexican food joint, and a couple of restaurants. I decided to order from 2 places, the Orange Bakery and then a place called Archie's. The Orange Bakery, I did, and you have to do this the night before. Now, the Orange Bakery, I ordered the night before, just like I did the place called Archie's. By 7:30 in the morning. Okay, so and these were for pickup times between 1 and 2 p.m. Because not all, even though the app makes it sort of seem like it's end of the day stuff, that's not the case at all. Different businesses use it for different reasons. Some of them use it just to get people to come in during their off hours. And as it turns out, Archie's, where I got, they do actually close midday. So when they're picking up, when the pickup window is from 1 to 2, that's just because they close, I think, at 2, and they reopen again for dinner in a few hours. So, so it sort of is an end of the day thing. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Orange Bakery, I was supposed to pick up something at 1 p.m., and by 7:30 in the morning, they contacted the app and me and said, nope, we're not going to have anything extra today. So within like an hour, my money for that had been refunded back into my bank account. So first off, if you're wondering, well, like, what if they don't have any food at the end of the day? They will let you know. You will not have to go there and then they're like, no, nothing left. So they will let you know. Super awesome. And you will get your money back if my example or experience is the way it is, seamless money coming back. So then I was just left with Archie's. And you guys, I'm actually kind of glad I only got the Archie's, because it is a family style Mexican food place. Certainly, locally owned and operated. Nothing that's like, oh my God, it's, so authentic from the Joaquin region of blah, blah, blah. No, this is an old school family, American style, Mexican restaurant. That being said, everybody who worked in there, the owner, the person who greeted me, they all spoke Spanish. So it's not like it's, run by white people. I'm assuming the cooks probably are Mexican or Central American or, or even South American. So anyway, I'm not sure, but either way, as you can see, this is what the parking lot looked like. Very empty for the day, very beautiful day, except for the kid on the motorcycle sitting on the sidewalk, getting a ticket by that cop. But, and that sucked for him. So anyway, this is what the restaurant actually looked like. This is the, right before you go in. This is just what it ended up being, a surprise bag. I still had no idea what it was, other than a bag of food on the dusty dashboard of my car. When I got home, it turned out it was a smothered burrito with some rojo sauce. This is what it looked like, and it was 34.45 ounces, which was a little bit over 2 pounds of food. And that's what it looked like when I bit into it, and I only ate half of it. And for those who are wondering, it was a flour tortilla filled with rice, beans, cheddar cheese with ground beef, and served with sour cream and a pico de gallo sauce. The pico de gallo sauce, I have to say, was probably one of the most perfect pico de gallo sauces I've ever had. It was the perfect amount of cilantro. I'm not a fan of cilantro, but there are some things that absolutely do need cilantro in them, otherwise it doesn't taste right. Pico de gallo is one of them. And I had a little bit of a fear because even before I opened the lid, I could smell the cilantro. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But nope, delicious. Super, super good, dude. And that burrito retailed for $14.95, I think. No, $15.95. Hold on, let's find out. What did that, oops. Here we go. What did that burrito? Yeah, okay, $14.95. Now, at $14.95 is before tax. And so if you're gonna have tax, it'd be another $1.50 on top of that, basically. I paid $8.80 for that burrito. So basically it was 50% off. 2 pounds of food for $8.80. I am more than satisfied. It was delicious food. I will continue to eat it tonight. I will be going back there again. I've checked their full menu now that I know what it is. Like, there are so many things I want to order at that menu. So my point, y'all, is, oh, and by the way, that particular restaurant was open to modifying or specializing orders, in the sense of, like, my best guess is you could, like, You can designate vegetarian, and yes, I'm talking about Too Good to Go. Absolutely, you can specify vegetarian. You can most likely, even if you're like gluten free and you want a corn tortilla instead of a flour tortilla, they'd probably be able to substitute that real easy because they've got those on the menu. I looked, and so Too Good to Go. It's not just for end of the day stuff anymore. Like I said, I think a lot of restaurants are using it to get people just to come in during their lull times when they have no business usually, or B, just to get people to come in. I guess you can get groceries. It just so happened that when I went in to go pick up my order, there was another lady who was there picking up her order, and she's a housekeeper who works all over the city of Seattle, and she uses Too Good to Go a lot, but she uses them in very different neighborhoods. And she said that when she goes up to the Magnolia area, there's a grocery store there that you can buy surprise good to go grocery bags for $30 a pop. And she said that she can actually live off of those groceries for 2 weeks. That's a lot of grocery. $30 of groceries, 2 weeks, dude. That's impressive. So yes, Good to Go is what I'm talking about. Hey, Picola T, good to see you. I am just bragging about Bainy Bo's discovery, and I was hoping and wishing that he was here. Like I said at the beginning, he introduced me to this app called Too Good to Go. And you can download it to your phone. I wouldn't be surprised if in the Honolulu area they've got some, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the Las Vegas area they've got participating businesses. But the businesses are everything, literally from restaurants to bakeries to grocery stores. And actually, at the end of the night, one of the closest stores to me, actually, and this is for you late nighters. Between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., 7-Eleven gets rid of all their donuts for super cheap. And so you can buy a donut grab bag from 7-Eleven for like $4 for like $20 worth of donuts. And $20 worth of 7-Eleven donuts is a lot of donuts, dude. It really is. Yeah, I bet it's a big deal over there. It should be a big deal everywhere, because the reality is there are some nights where you just don't feel like cooking, and those nights are also sometimes nights that you can't afford to go out either. So you have to stay home and cook. Dude, that burrito for $8 was a steal. When I saw the burrito that I had, I was like, that is a $16 burrito, without really knowing how much the burrito really cost. But I did go to the restaurant, or to the website, and indeed it was a $16 burrito. And so for $8, sign me up. I'm definitely gonna be using this again. And by the way, this is totally not a sponsorship. I'm not hooked into Good to Go at all. In fact, I can't figure out how to use part of it, actually, so I'm really not hooked in with Good to Go. But I encourage you guys, when you're feeling like taking a gamble, trying something new, Good to Go website shows Millie Lonnie pickups. Okay, yeah, there's, I'm sure that I'd be willing to bet that there's more than just in Millie Lonnie that does it, but I'm not surprised that Millie Lonnie would have several vendors, But Picola T, it all depends on where you are, I guess, like, and what your mileage radius is. So from my house, I have the boundaries set 5 miles in all directions. You can set the boundaries way further or way closer. I did have it like in a 2-mile radius, and that not a lot in a 2-mile radius. So I had to expand it. In the 5-mile radius, suddenly I was like, oh, pizza spot, Mexican spot, bakery, 7-Eleven with donuts. So yeah, I haven't done anything except for the Archie's Mexican spot, and boy, oh boy, it was delicious, I have to say. And yeah, so next time we see Bainy Bo, I'm hoping to remember to thank him for that that pro tip, because when he first brought it up, I really didn't understand just how awesome it could be. Yeah, so if you guys do ever do Too Good To Go, I want to hear about it. I want to know how much you think you saved, whether or not it was worth the extra drive out, because it might be a little bit out of your normal routine, etc. And Stater must have plenty of options from South Center. Oddly enough, Bacola Tea, there was only one, and it was it's a pho place, and I don't really like pho. I just don't like the broth. Don't come at me, y'all. I just don't. Okay. I wish I did, because everything about it seems perfect, but except for in my mouth, it's just not perfect at all. But yeah, Bacola Tea, no. There's just this one pho place that shows up, and it doesn't even show up every day. So I don't even know what's going on with that. But there is a pizza place in Georgetown in South Park that I've never heard of before, but the pictures look really good, and I'm thinking I might want to try to grab a grab bag from there at some point, but not tonight, because I'm still full. Shoot, dude, I ate 3 hours ago, and I'm like still super full, and I only ate half that burrito. So yeah, I mean, and obviously how good the burrito was had nothing to do with Good To Go, but Good To Go obviously has some hidden gems that you wouldn't even notice. I've driven past that Mexican food place for the past 20 years and haven't ever looked twice at it. And now, not only am I going to look twice at it, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to be telling local people about it, not to mention international people and not local people about it, like right now. And Terry and Skyland, is there a Pepe's restaurant in Seattle? They're over here now. Flame grilled chicken, fajitas, burritos, lamb burgers, loaded fries. Looks great. One in Glasgow. I don't think so. Is Pepe's that peri peri chicken that Bainy Bo is talking about? Bainy Bo is on point when it comes to introducing me to new restaurants, many of which are not in or widespread in the United States. And also, once again, instant hot water heater on your countertop. Bainy Bo introduced that concept to me. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Until I got one. And that is like super awesome, y'all. Everyone needs one. Okay, that is the one with the peri peri chicken. No, Terry and Skyland, I think that there's some in Houston. I think there's like some in Chicago, but they're not very many. Oh, the peri peri chicken is called Nando's. That was the one that Bainy Bo was talking about. But I feel like Pepe's, he's also... Nando's might be the one that I'm thinking of that's in Chicago and Houston and stuff. Here's what I can tell you. There is not a Pepe's that I know of in the Puget Sound area. So I cannot speak on that food. And there's a Nando's in Glasgow. Pepe's is their competition. Okay, yeah, Nando's is Portuguese. Right. Portuguese via Africa or something. And the Nando's has got a very strange start. But yeah, they're all over the place, just not everywhere all over the place, if I remember correctly. Oh, and speaking of they're all over the place, but not everywhere all over the place, there is, oh shoot, what is it called? There's this Filipino fast food chain called Tropical Hut. Hold on, what's it called? Yeah, it's called Tropical Hut. And I saw there were a truck that had that logo, and it said their specialty is lechon. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but basically it's the whole roast pig, Filipino style, with the crunchy sort of chicharrones I don't know how to say it. The fried pigskin crackling stuff. Anyway, Tropical Hut, Lechon, whatever it's called. And it was not a professionally done graphic on the truck. And it was definitely like a beat. Like, I really thought like, oh, that's a mom and pop shop that's running like, but I was like, oh, but they got the pork. I want to try that. As it turns out, no, Tropical Hut is a Filipino food chain that's like all throughout the world. We have a couple of them in the Seattle area, and yeah, they really do not look like a worldwide franchise, which makes me think I really need to go there. And Terry in Scotland, they need some Jollibees over here. There may be some in London. Yeah, we've got a Jollibees in the South Center Mall, which is just literally down the hill from where I live. And I still have not been there. I do, honestly, one of the only reasons why I would go there is to go to Jollibees. But I hate going to the mall neighborhood so much. It's not even the mall. I don't even mind the mall. It's the mall traffic on the streets and then the mall traffic in the parking lot. Literally, I can spend 6 minutes on the freeway getting to the mall, 12 minutes after I've parked my car properly in the place strategically where I need to be, and go into the mall, get what I need to have done, and then come back into my car within 12 minutes, right? So, and then maybe another 6 minutes to get home. So you're looking at like, that's a half an hour at the most of just thing. Yeah, it's easily a 2-hour trip though because of the surface streets and the parking lot traffic. Once you're off the freeway, you are now moving at 3 inches an hour. You're missing 8 stoplights before you can finally make your left-hand turn. And now you're just in the parking lot. So, yeah, not my favorite place to be. But Jollibees would be one of the only reasons for me to actually do all of that. Have you guys had Jollibees? Yeah, I know, exactly, Shock. Exactly, like, no, that's right, exactly, which is like, it's, I still haven't gone there, but if anything's gonna get me there, it's gonna be something like, okay, let's try Jollibees. But you know what I'm not gonna try when I go to Jollibees? Because I don't care, honestly, I don't care what any of y'all say. I don't care. That spaghetti looks gross. Filipino-style spaghetti, no, cannot abide. I don't do sweet spaghetti, and the moment they openly say, oh yeah, it's sweet, it's like, that's the point, is to be sweet. No. So if you want to eat a lot of spaghetti at Jollibees, come with me because I will not even touch your order. I might even ask you to sit farther away from me so I don't have to smell it. I don't know, I haven't smelled it, but I just have a feeling. So yeah, have any of you guys ever tried Jollibees? Anybody? And the variety of food in the UK streets ahead of what it was just a few years ago. When I first arrived here in the 70s, we couldn't even find an American burger joint. You went to the first McDonald's in London. Wow, awesome, Terry. Yeah. Yeah, well, by the mid-'80s, McDonald's was pretty well saturated into the Londonscape, as it were. But at least when I went there in the mid-'80s, yeah, there was, like, McDonald's was the only American. I mean, there was chains, but they were all local British chains. I remember there's a Happy Pizza or Pizza Happy or something, and man, it was the crappiest pizza, but it was it was where we ate every day because it was so much better than the food that we were getting at our hotel. So yeah, I can't remember what the pizza chain was called, but I remember they were everywhere in England at that time, and it was bad pizza, but it was still really good in comparison to what they were going to serve us at dinner that night. And Cold Tea, you love Jollibee chicken. Yeah, and I want to try the chicken. And Pinnell, no Jollibee's there. Pinnell, is there a big, pardon me, I know you might not know this off the top of your head, but you're speaking for Toronto area right now, because you are our lone Toronto representative. Is there a large Filipino community in Toronto? I know that Toronto is extraordinarily cosmopolitan with ethnicities from all over the world. I do not associate Filipinos with Toronto, though, so I'm just curious if there's a large section of Filipinos in Toronto. And if there's not, then you're probably not going to get a Jollibee anytime real soon. Okay, yes, lots of Filipinos. Okay, see, not at all surprised. Not at all surprised to hear that, because like I said, Toronto's got everything, so of course they've got their Filipinos. Dude, if you get Filipinos, you will be getting a Jollibee eventually. Like, so just, and they're, like, their spaghetti might be gross, but everybody loves their chicken. Everybody agrees the chicken is good. And it's pretty much only people who grew up on Filipino-style spaghetti that think Jollibee is a spaghetti. But yeah, Picola Tea, the yucky banana ketchup. I actually don't mind the banana ketchup as long as you don't present it as ketchup. Like, it's its own thing. Just like Diet Coke is perfectly acceptable, but it is not a substitute for Coke. It's its own thing with its own flavor profile. If you want me to call one the other, I won't. Carob. It's a little bit like chocolate, but it's not. It's okay as long as you don't try to tell me that it's chocolate. You know, it's one of those kind of things. It's like, I could eat it, just don't tell me it is. Don't tell me it's that, because it's not. It's not. And oh, now there's a small grocery store near you. Nice, so you can get some good Pacific Islander products if need. Nice. And let's see here. Wow, the most popular burger place in England in the 70s was Wimpy's. They were quite pitiful. I remember Wimpy's. I mean, we had them here too. But honestly, I don't think I've ever been to a Wimpy's. Has anybody ever been to a Wimpy's burger? And it was Wimpy's, like, named after the Popeye character who will happily pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today, right? You know, that's that. Am I remembering this restaurant properly? And exactly, Picola Tea, carob is not chocolate. Nutritional yeast is not Parmesan cheese. Precisely. It might be good. It might be tasty. It is, in fact, both of those things. But don't think you're fooling me into thinking one is the other. Both are edible as their own thing. Okay? But yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember Wimpy Burger, but I don't remember going to one. Although I really want to say, and boy, I'm just making this up off the top of my head. I want to say that at the water back in the day, long time ago, when the Alaskan Way Viaduct ran along the waterfront of Seattle, a double-lane highway that separated the water from the city, basically, under the lower level, or on street level, under one of the levels of the viaduct, I think there was a Wimpy's chain. Pinnell, yeah, I put nutritional yeast on my popcorn too. It's tasty. Like I said, nutritional yeast is tasty. I'll eat it and I'll enjoy eating it, no problem. But don't tell me it's Parmesan cheese, because it's not. Like, not even. It's not. And exactly, vegetable protein is not ground beef. Totally Picola Tea, but you know what's really funny? Or not, I guess. It depends on how you want to look at it. My friend's I had a friend in college who had grandparents who owned a drive-in theater. And for many years, they had really good hamburgers that they served at the drive-in theater. I mean, not really good like gourmet, but you know, they were tasty enough. You know, they were good drive-in burgers, right? But then somebody got all a kerfuffle because they were like, what? These aren't 100% ground beef. There's textured vegetable protein mixed in with this beef. You know, that's a crappy burger, and like all sorts of, you know, rabble. So they switched over to 100% ground beef burgers. And oh my God, dude, everybody hated them. They were, because it was a lower quality beef. It was a thinner burger. It was a worse taste. The texture was horrible. So, so as it turns out, textured vegetable protein does have a spot with the ground beef, but they need to be paired together, not by itself. Because yeah, textured vegetable protein by itself, it's not sausage, it's not beef, it's just chewy, savory brown stuff. That's what it is. And let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't exactly, Pinnell. Nutritional yeast does not taste like cheese. I mean, it's got a tanginess, but that's kind of where it ends. And let's see here. In Brixton, I walked down Electric Avenue, made famous by Jimmy Cliff. Bob Marley performed in a club there. I had no idea that Electric Avenue was actually A, a thing, and B, in England. I would have assumed it was not. And one of your daughters lived in Brixton in London and had a huge Caribbean and West African community. The market next to Brixton Underground Station had okra and cornmeal. Oh, wow. I guess for England, yeah, I'm like, okra and cornmeal. Yeah, welcome to a southern, like, it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, why every grocery store has okra and cornmeal, at least okra in season or in freezers. But yeah, I guess in England, that's not, cornmeal is not the norm, is it? And TVP picks up the taste of what you cook it with. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. That's why you can make it turn into sausage. You can make it turn into taco meat. You can make it turn into hamburger meat, or meat. But as an addition, like if you're trying to make a pound of ground beef stretch further, a little bit of textured vegetable protein isn't that horrible. But if you're trying to make a hamburger patty out of textured vegetable protein only, I might have a problem with that. I mean, I might eat it because if you enough cheese and bacon, deep fry it, everything tastes good. But the English have no clue what okra is. Oprah Winfrey, maybe. Yeah, exactly. And Picola T, I'm going to take your word for it. Lots of folks love fried okra. Absolutely. I've never had it fried. I've only had it in gumbo. And I think you already know where I'm going to go with this. But for those of you who don't, okra is what is sort of slimy. And it creates... Okra is used as a sauce thickener. It's what thickens the sauce in gumbo. Unless you're eating a filet gumbo, in which case there's no okra and it's filet that's thickening the sauce. And so when it's in the gumbo soup stuff, it's not crispy. The texture is textury, slippery, and slimy to me. But I've heard that, yes, first off, we already know if it's deep fried, even a plastic comb is delicious. So I would absolutely try okra deep fried. As long as it's, the cornmeal breaded fried okra and dry fried. Shuck, what's dry fried? Because, okra rolled in cornmeal batter, that sounds good. Breaded fried okra. Oh, so wait, hold on. Okay, so Picola T's going the battered route, and the batter's made with cornmeal. But Shuck, are you saying you just like to dust it in cornmeal and then fry it? Is that what you mean by dry fried? I'm learning so much. And then dip that fried okra in ranch dressing, Southern Delight. You got it. You just chop it, sprinkle paprika, and fry it in the wok with a little oil. Okay, so that's all right. Yeah, so okay. Huh, interesting. Terry in Scotland, not deep fried, shallow oil, or no oil at all. Oh. But it's got batter on it, Pacola T said. Pacola T, can you clear things up for me? I thought you said that you put batter. Is it a thin batter and you just... Do you deep fry them, Pacola T? And is everybody not dry fry, just no batter? Right, but see, Pacola T said batter, and then she said ranch dressing. And between those two things and then the South, I feel like she kind of knows what she's talking about. Deep fried something, dipped in ranch dressing is how they do it in the South. I mean, show me the lie, right? But perhaps I have misinterpreted dip it after frying. You dip it in the cornmeal batter after frying? Okay, so see, y'all, there's different kinds. Pacola T's coming in. Southern style is chopped okra. For a second, I thought I said Oprah. Dipped in cornmeal batter and then deep fried. Whereas not Kenny, although Kenny I bet would have an opinion on this as well. Terry in Scotland saying breaded with cornmeal is the way my mother did it. Dip it in ranch after you fry it. I understood that part, but I also thought that if it was a batter, you'd have to dip it in the batter. No, I understand that part. That was one part. You don't get to be a person of this kind of size without knowing how to use the ranch dressing properly. I have the ranch dressing protocol down very... Actually, that's hardly true. I don't even have ranch dressing in my house, but yeah, it is getting confusing, isn't it? But sort of like a corn dog. Exactly, that's what I was envisioning, Pacola T, was, yeah, exactly like a corn dog. I sent James a ranch dressing meme the other week. He laughed. Yeah, honestly, I'm glad that he has switched up. Okay, so yours is a simple dip in egg, shake in a bag of cornmeal. All right, there we go. I'm willing to try both because fried is delicious. But for those of you who are not or are vaguely familiar with the comedian James Monnet, he has this one joke that's about the white people that tried to take over the Capitol on January 7th back in the day. And his sister was like, why are the white people freaking out? Did the country run out of mayonnaise or something? That was supposed to be the joke. And it's funny, but the moment I heard the joke for the first time, I was like, no, brah, you got to change that to ranch dressing. Like, it's going to hit harder with ranch dressing. And he has eventually evolved into using ranch dressing instead of mayonnaise. And so that is why I think Shock sent James a ranch dressing meme the other week, and he laughed for it. Because seriously, dude, honestly, I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but before January 7th, I thought really one of the only ways that people would take to the streets is if we ran out of ranch dressing. So it was a legitimate jump to the conclusion when you saw the activities unfolding on the television before her. We must have run out of ranch. But you know what we didn't run out of? We didn't run out of our Lono listening break, but we are 1 minute past it, so I guess we did run out of some time. And so now, we're 1 minute late, but let's just listen to some Lono, shall we? Alright, let's do it.
Hoai Lona. Auheala oe, mai ka iwi, molo ka inui ahina, ho'i mai ka ua, e pili auheala oe, ho'i mai, auheala oe, ho'i mai, molo ka iwi, Huiahina O mehana Uleo Aina kaya ke ame kuapaka Please, oh please Bring Ho'alona home Hele Ho'alona Awana ike kai Ma'ani ano na keiki at the wharf E aloha no kailio au kai E aloha no kailio au kai Molokai huiahina O mehana uleo Aina kaya ke ame kuapaka Please, oh please, bring Ho'alona home Make au e hauoli ia oe E ke aloha Hoa i paani kai papau E puna hele Ho'alona E puna hele Ho'alona Molokai huiahina O mehana o puleo Aina kaya ke ame kuapaka Please, oh please, bring Ho'alona home Molokai luiahina O mehana o puleo Aina kaya ke ame kuapaka Please, oh please, bring Ho'alona home Please, oh please, bring Ho'alona home Please, oh please, bring Ho'alona home
Sorry about that. Yeah. I don't know. Koji, I don't know. I mean, if anybody can buy it, I'd be willing to bet that somebody did. And, you know, who's to say that Chad and Jeff aren't going to throw a raging barbecue, a raging barbecue over a long weekend. They might go through that 5 gallons of ranch if they've got enough frat boy friends that are going to show up and all they do is eat anything and everything with ranch. But yeah, that's just me. But I'll tell you what, it better be Hidden Valley Ranch, because any other ranch besides Hidden Valley Ranch is just vile. And even some Hidden Valley ranches are kind of like not very good. I prefer the ones that are in the jar, not the squeeze bottle, but that's just me. And let's see here, Terry in Scotland. A dude embezzled $4 million of employees' Social Security payments. His mother bought $1 million worth of Trump's meme coins, so Trump pardoned him yesterday. Corrupt much. Is that the guy that just got released? I didn't know what he even did. Yeah, that's annoying. But I mean, you know, the thing is corrupt much. Yeah, I mean, we all know it. It's all happening right in front of our very face. So, I mean, it's just, what do we get? What? We're not supposed to believe our lion eyes, I guess? Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But you know what else is amazing? Let's see here. What is it? Oh, here's what's amazing. We've got this car place, dude. It's in Idaho. Wendell, Idaho. And this auto body place, or it's an auto yard. It's an auto yard. This is what it looks like. That's from Google Earth, dude. That's Google Earth. Like, just all looking down at the map, or at the auto body. And let's see, your smallest version of Hidden Valley we could find was a 2-pack of 40-ounce bottles, which should probably last you over a year, maybe 2. Exactly, Picola T. Yeah, that's why I always buy the packets, and I just make it myself, you know, with the mayonnaise and the milk and the But yeah, and I'd be willing to bet in Wendell, they probably go through a lot of ranch. Where is Wendell? That's right. Where is Wendell? Why are we asking? Because I needed a reason for a map. And in case you don't know, this is basically much of Idaho. Roughly, poorly outlined in black. Yeah, the black should go a little further north too, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at southern Idaho here. Idaho, it's a state in the United States. It's one state over from Oregon and one state over from Washington. It's where the Ore-Ida plant is, where Oregon and Idaho are all like one. The potatoes come to gather there and then they get broken into tots. But that's Ore-Ida. That's not Wendell. Wendell is in that tiny little pink dot, that pink circle right there. Do you see the pink dot right above the Google? The very southern central part of Idaho? No, Idaho. Either way, what I can say is it's practically northern Utah. But instead of Mormons, they just got a lot of cars. And we're going to learn about a lot of cars and what they do with them here. So let's watch this little video out of Wendell, Idaho, and learn about their pretty awesome cars, dude. They really anyway, here, let's just watch.
The new generation is basically a disposable generation. They buy it, they drive it, they move on to something different. They don't care. It's not going to be sitting in their backyard 50 years from now and someone drive by wanting to buy it and they're saying, no, I'm going to fix that someday. Nowadays, people don't change their tires, they just call a tow truck. They don't check their oil, they just wait till the light comes on and take it to a shop. Standard shift's got a clutch pedal. The thing about the new cars, they're not designed to really be anything that's gonna last. You know, an accident, something like this, you got a chance of walking away. The old cars, you could beat on them, you could bang them around, you could beat the dents out of them, and the next day you'd be driving them again. These new cars, you gotta send to a body shop to be glued back together. We used to do those are called model cars. I had them that came in a little box. Some people love cars, some people just use cars. Some people can tell you the first car they ever owned, some can tell you the last 15 they've owned. As long as people keep caring about these cars, they're gonna still be out there. If people stop caring, then they're gonna go away. And it's just gonna be another strip mall, just like the rest of the world. This is Wendell, Idaho. We're 20 miles west of Twin. We're about a mile and a half out of town on Highway 46. L&L Classic's been in this neighborhood for 50 years. It was started by a man named Larry Harms.
Bought it in '67.
Who was doing body work in town. And people started bringing cars by and dropping them off, and it started making everybody in town a little nervous.
City kind of run me out of town.
Next thing you know, they're on him to move out of town. But he grew up in this area, so he wasn't going too far. He had a kid used to come out there and hang out at his body shop, wanted to learn about the cars, things like that. Well, that kid's dad sold real estate, and it just so happens this piece of property here came up for sale, and Larry bought it so he could move the operation from town to here. My name is Jesse Johnson. I'm technically in charge of the towing operation, but I'm kind of Larry's right-hand man. I transported a car for his wife. I was going to hang around for 2 weeks, do some piddling, make some money, and go back to my other job. And when I got here, I realized that Larry needed help, and he's kind of the grandpa I never had, so I just kind of stayed. That was about 7 years ago.
And you never left?
Never left. L&L Classic Auto may help you. Our main operation is selling old car parts. And what part are you needing for that car, sir? The bulk of our inventory is 40s through 70s. We have a lot of any kind of model you'd want. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, foreign stuff. We don't have any Porsches. The guesstimate is between $8,500 and $10,000, and I'd say it's probably on the high side of $10,000. You need the header panel. Let me look at the computer and see what it says and see if I've got pictures of this car. We sell parts all over the world. We shipped a 59 Corvette to Sweden last year. And there's a guy right now in Germany needing some Ford trim. I do believe we had a request for something simple from Dubai a while back. They're making cars like Bic lighters nowadays. They're disposable. Once you wear that thing for a couple of years, you throw it away. But you get a good old solid 70s model car, had some real metal in it, and it'd take a beating, and just like a watch, it'd keep on ticking. Basically, everything out here is a piece of artwork in some form or another. To see a chrome hood ornament, it just makes you think, wow, if this car could talk. When you see the patina and the way that the old colors have blended over the years with the sun fade, it's like a Picasso or something. You can sit here on a hill and just see the glass glistening and the colors changing, and it's like going out in the country and watching the turning of the leaves. The cars take on a personality and a beauty of their own. Find you an old junkyard. Go out there in the evening when the sun's going down just right. It's pretty magical.
Okay, so I'm really not that much of a car buff. I mean, I appreciate them, you know. I'm not, but I don't go to car shows. I don't live and die by the hot rod scene, you know, whatever. But I have to admit, I really would like to see that place in real life. I could imagine knowing I know people who could spend probably their entire a week vacation just combing that place, right? But seriously, like, I could see myself spending a day there, you know, on a road trip. Like, yeah, let's just stop in this town. We're gonna get a hotel for the night. We're gonna go check out the rec yard. I mean, I feel like there'd be a lot of really cool stuff that you would never see anyplace else, right? Yeah, first date with that dude. Hey, you want to see the sunset? No, seriously, when he said that, I was like, first off, you know, with the missing tooth in front, I was just like, oh man, he couldn't be more of a backwoods country boy. You know, it's just like, want to come watch the sun set over the auto wrecking yard? The way the light glints off the broken glass, just the right time. It's magical. I mean, really, the way he described it, he obviously sees so much beauty, you know, the patinas and the blah, 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 and it might as well be a Picasso, and he is enamored with that place. He is exactly where he needs to be in the world, and I wish all of us could love where they're at the way he clearly does. And even though Southern Idaho is not any place I would want to ever live, let me just tell you, dude, I actually think I would like to go through that town. And actually, I think I have driven through that town, but I think I'd like to stop in that town and check out that huge, I mean, look at it, you guys. Look at it. It is huge. Wait, where did it go? That's big. That is big. So just like, tell me the best place to go looking, because that's clearly all I'm going to do is get to one part of that, right? He is a poet laureate in Junkyard Jeans. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, and I guess it's really easy to be a poet laureate when you are truly enamored with the space that you're in, right? And there's a guy in Carstairs Village, a mile and a half from here, who owns a pristine 60s Mercury. See, and Mercury, I know it's a brand of car, but like, did they have model, like, okay, is there's such thing as a Cougar, right? And is a Cougar a Mercury Cougar? Is there such thing as a Mercury Cougar? That's what I'm trying to ask. And if that's okay, there is. And then I guess so. My next question is for you, Terry. What kind of Mercury does the pristine 60s? What kind of Mercury, you know? Or does it have a model? Or is it just a 68 Mercury? Because only then they had 68. They had one kind. See, this is what. Can you tell? I'm not a car person. I don't really. I mean, I do enjoy cars, but obviously this is just not. You don't. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not the one who knows stuff. And your father always tried to fix his cars. The repair guys told him to stop. Well, Pinnell, it sounds like his repairs still needed him to go to the repair guys. So I feel like the repair guys actually should probably have encouraged his hobby, because it sounds like he might have kept him in business. It's like, oh yeah, just you keep fixing your cars and we'll fix them after you fixed them. Yep, just keep on fixing your cars. There'll be plenty left for us to fix. Go on, keep doing it. No, not Wallace, Wendell. But we would lose Bumatai for a week in Wendell. We would lose a lot of people for a week. I feel like Rick. I feel like Kenny from the Cove. I feel like a lot of people that we know would fall down that rabbit hole. And then eventually, a week and a half later, they would come out on the other side. And we would be like, dude, we thought the Junkyard Dogs got you. Yeah. But you know, though, Cody, I know that you meant to say Wendell, but there is a Wallace, Idaho, isn't there? Because I feel like there is. Because I totally feel like Wallace, Idaho sounds exactly like a place I've been. Fancy, I'll have to look up a map for that. But yeah. So, yeah, and I wonder how many motorcycles they have. Doesn't sound like they do too much with the motorcycles with what that video said, but I wouldn't be surprised if they've got that many cars. They might have a motorcycle section. And if they did have a motorcycle section, I don't know if we'd ever find Andy again. I don't know if he'd ever emerge. And Southern Idaho makes West Texans feel better about where they live. And Wallace, Idaho is where Mr. P's grandpa was a miner for a while. Okay, so Wallace, Idaho does exist. Okay, good. That's all. Yeah, okay, yeah. As long as we're all on the same page. And, yeah, Southern Idaho, actually, you know, it's a horribly boring place to drive across in your car or in any vehicle. But actually, southeastern Idaho is remarkably beautiful, and honestly, even though it's not part of the Yellowstone National Park complex, geologically, it is very a part of the Yellowstone complex. They've got so many hot springs, so many geysers, so many, you know, soda springs and blah, 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 hot springs and blah, blah, blah. There is a lot of geothermal activity that is going on just beneath the surface of southeast Idaho, and there is a lot of really cool stuff. Lava Hot Springs, Idaho is a very tiny town that you pass through on the way to the Teton Mountains, Grand Tetons National Park, and then, you know, then you can continue. Let's try again. Hot Lava Springs, Idaho. On the way to Jackson Hole, it's before Jackson Hole, Wyoming, obviously, because it's in Idaho. And then you take Jackson Hole and you go to Grand Tetons. Grand Tetons gets you through to Yellowstone, right? That route. Hot Lava Springs, Idaho. Cutest little town. It has a river that runs through it. It's a little river that you can rent inner tubes and just inner tube down through the town. One end of the town is the water park with the water slides. It's not a big one. It's not a big town, but it's a water park, and that is fed by the river and the hot water springs. The lava springs, and on the other side of town is where the actual hot springs are, with a facility built around it, so it's public access. It's totally it's not muddy, you know. It's like pools that have been built. Words are really hard today, Picola T, and I honestly don't know why. I'm gonna blame the heat. It's 80 degrees here. It's the first time it's been 80 degrees this year. But let me just tell you, man, the hot springs are super hot. By the time it gets to the other end of town, it's like only 90 degrees, so it's a good little pool. Cute little town, very, very cheap in comparison. Okay, let me rephrase that. Very expensive for the area, very cheap in comparison to equal luxury that you would get elsewhere or other mountain type resort towns. And Pensacola tea, no. Yeah, hot springs are nice and relaxing, but kind of stinky. No, these ones aren't. I don't know why this particular set of hot springs doesn't have the associated rotten sulfur egg smell. No, dude, these hot springs are like clean, fresh, not stinky water. It's amazing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now, I have to say, I'm breaking a huge taboo because when we stayed in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, all of the locals said, I think it's great that you love this place. I also don't ever want you to talk about ever being here again. You were never here. This town doesn't exist, and you don't know how to get here, or they were just like, don't tell anybody this place exists. And unfortunately, I have. So Terry in Scotland coming in with the real deal. Lava Hot Springs is a city along the Portneuf River in eastern Bannock County in Idaho. It's part of the Pocatello, Idaho metropolitan area. I would definitely, I mean, okay, technically, but I would not call it a metropolitan area by a long shot. By a long shot. As you can see, the population was 358, so not metropolitan at all. At 2020 census, located in the mountainous valley of the Portneuf River, on the old route of the Oregon Trail and California Trail, the city's become a popular resort location noted for its numerous hot springs, amenable to bathing, and turbulent inner tube run through part of the town. See, I'm telling you, dude, it's a great, great historic little city. But now that you all know about it, I'm gonna have to kill you. Just kidding. I wouldn't know where to find you, and I wouldn't know how to cover up the evidence anyway, so I will not be killing any of you. And if any of you end up dead, that's your fault, not mine. Okay, I don't mean to victim blame. Maybe it's not your fault, but it's also not going to be my fault, okay? Okay. But for real though, and another thing about Lava Hot Springs, Idaho is if you go a little bit further west, you end up near Twin Falls, Idaho. And Twin Falls, Idaho is considered the Niagara Falls of the West. Very impressive waterfall. Even though I would never want to live in Twin Falls. By the way, Twin Falls also where people base jump off of the bridge. Twin Falls also where Evel Knievel tried to jump over the Snake River. Lots going on in that area. Once again, not really where I'd want to live, but if you do, if somebody was like, look, you got a choice between this crummy area or this crummy area, and one of the crummy areas is southeast Idaho, I would actually, it's less crummy than you would think. How about that? If you go into it with low expectations, it'll be fabulous. But there actually are some cool things there. That's all I'm saying. And Pinnell, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to go to the United States during these times. I personally can't leave the United States during these times because I don't have the proper paperwork. Yeah, I don't have the proper paperwork. And speaking of not having the proper paperwork, I went to my illegal beach today. If you remember, if you've ever seen the intro on my YouTube channel that Andy Bumatai created, where I went to a beach and I stalked a bird. This is the same beach, and I went to this beach today, but it's illegal because I do not have the proper parking permit. I do not own homes that have the rights to this stretch of beach. This stretch of beach, however, used to be considered some of the best clamming areas in this part of the Puget Sound, and many local tribes depended on this beach on days like today for their shellfish harvest. It isn't very usual to see the Puget Sound beaches look like this. We have such a steep drop off in our waters that a -4 tide very rarely exposes any kind of land. It just lowers where the water is on the steep incline. But this was a really, really low tide today. And so I kind of figured I would take advantage of the hot day and the low tide and see what the beach looked like. Normally the water comes up to at least that ramp, the boat ramp. As you can see though, tons of tidal flats, exposed kelp. If I knew more about kelp harvesting, I probably would have snuck some into my basket. But there was actually, even though it doesn't look like it, there was a lot of people at this beach, and they were giving me some side-eye about not having the proper paperwork on my vehicle. Because there was a Karen that was like walking around looking at cars and stuff. So I didn't stay here for very long, and because my paperwork, my vehicle's paperwork was not in order. And so, but this is basically a little 360 view, and yeah, it was this was handheld, y'all. This was not on a stick. This was not with any kind of tripod. So yeah, the ocean got a little sideways for a minute. That happened. It did. It really did happen. But still, you got the gist. That's what it looked like today. And yeah, I thought it was really nice. But so in Pecola T, you can probably sort of verify, like, the beaches in the Puget Sound generally aren't that exposed. They go more foop instead of boop, the land and the water where they meet. So Pecola T might be able to reinforce my statement of not very many beaches get that much tide exposed in the Puget Sound area. Don't get me wrong, on the ocean, totally different story. But in the Puget Sound, our water is deep and straight down. And let's see here. Right, exactly. Hardly any walkable shoreline in the Puget Sound. Yeah, so to have that much exposed was definitely a notable day. And tomorrow, it's, I think, a -3, so I might go out tomorrow as well. I think even tomorrow, it's like in the evening time, the tide's going to be super low, so I can do it after work, and it won't be as flippin' hot. And I've got a different beach that I'll be going to, that I'll be allowed to go to, because it's a public beach instead of a private beach. But whatever. And let's see here. But Terry was saying Twin Falls, the county seat and largest city of Twin Falls County, Idaho. Yeah, population of 51,807. Yeah, so way bigger than Lava Hot Springs. And Twin Falls is the largest city in a 100-mile radius. It's the regional commercial center for the South Central Idaho and Northeastern Nevada. That does not at all surprise me at all. And hey there, Sea Honda, good to see you. We're just talking about how boring Southern Idaho is, and how my car didn't have the proper paperwork to park in the parking lot that I was parked in, so I had to leave. And then let's see here, what else is there that we want to discuss for the next 15 minutes? I've got an idea. I don't know. You've been there. Yes, you have. All right, so you guys, I thought I knew, but I don't, and now I'm forgetting. But this is a really old picture of what eventually... Well, okay, let's start over. It used to be the Rainier Brewing Company, and then it stopped being the Rainier Brewing Company, and then it became the Rhinelander Brewing Company, and that's when this picture was taken. So do you guys remember the beer Rhinelander? It still exists, I guess. I think they still make it in Milwaukee. But this question isn't so much about Rhinelander. This question is, does anybody know what the car is in front? This picture was taken in like 1932, 1935, something like that. Does anybody know what the car is? And this isn't a trivia, actually. I literally, like, I'm asking. Because it's not a Volkswagen. It doesn't well, first off, I don't think it's not a Volkswagen. I can just say that for certain. But it's a 1935-ish, 1930s vehicle, and I don't know. I don't think it's a German car. I don't know. You know, after World War I, I'm not sure Germany was exporting so many cars as they were building cars to rebuild their country. So let's see here. Yes, Rhinelander Brewery is a regional American brewery located in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. But before it was located in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, it was actually located in Seattle. In fact, eventually, this is what this is what the Rainier Brewery looked like now. But oh no, wait, no, oh no, there's another picture. Okay, Dr. Steve says it's a Chrysler Airflow. Shot coming in with a Chrysler Airflow. Okay, so then to answer the question, no, it's not a German car. All right, that's cool. And then I had this one, god darn it, gold, dang it. I had this one picture that I wanted to share with you. And here we go. So, all right, hold on. All right, you guys, we're going to do something. It's going to be ugly. We're going to do it, though. We're going to do it. It's going to be ugly. Okay, we did it. All right, so so this was the first picture with this was oldest. This picture was taken in the 30s. And in the late 30s, Rainier came up from California and started working with Rhinelander. Rainier, before Prohibition, was Seattle-based. But then, because of Prohibition, they shut down the brewery. It turned into a feed mill, and the Rainier people moved to California. Then, when Prohibition was lifted, Canadian companies came in, and part of the conglomerate from Canada that came in was this guy who started Rhinelander. And so, the Rhinelander beer started in Seattle. And then eventually the Rainier people were like, we want to come back to Seattle, because they'd already started making beer again, and they were already supplying like much of the West Coast, but they wanted the Washington and Alaska market, so they wanted to come back to Seattle. So they worked out a deal with Rhinelander where Rhinelander could produce it and label it as Rainier and blah, 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 blah. But eventually then, Rhinelander moved out of Seattle. It became the Rainier Brewery again. And this is what it looks like to this day now. And this is the infamous R. If you've ever been to Seattle and you've driven south out of town on I-5, you will see the R. It is iconic. It's been there forever. However, this R pisses me off because it's the wrong R. But it's the current R. It's the R that they've chosen. It's the R that they've chosen as the replacement. But for a little while, and as much as that R pisses me off, this was a travesty. This was a travesty, and everyone agreed. Everyone agreed that this was just wrong. When the Rainier Brewery closed, as Terry is pointing out, because it did, it's closed. They don't make Rainier there anymore. When it closed, Tully's Coffee decided to make this a coffee roasting factory. And they replaced the iconic red R with a stupid green T. The Tully's logo was green. That's the Tully's T. And I have to tell you, universally speaking, everyone hated it. Like, there's very few things that can bring people together like a hatred for something. And And this tea was it. It brought everyone together. They no, this is not. No, it's not okay. And yeah, and so Western Neon heard the cries. They heard the cries, and they created they created a new one. They created They created a new one. That's the new R. That's the current R, the one that pisses me off. I don't like it. It makes me angry, but it's better than the T. I really dislike the T. The T made everybody angry. But this is what the R looks like now. But that's not what the R is supposed to look like. The R is supposed to look like that, okay? The R has always been outlined in red, not dotted. So why they chose to get rid of the outline in red, I just don't quite understand. That is indeed the original one, and to give you some perspective on just how big that thing is, those are regular size table and chairs. That's what the R looked like. And let's see here. Everyone here hates that ice cube thing stuck on the Royal Ontario Museum. Exactly, that's what I'm telling y'all. Dude, seriously, nothing brings people together like a mutual hatred of something. For real. I mean, or something tangentially like that. Like when Luigi did a schmurder on a CEO of a healthcare, a lot of people were like, yeah. Yeah. You're like, nobody was... It was noticeable, like, it didn't matter if you were a left-wing person, a right-wing person, a pro-gun person, an anti-gun person, a violent person, a pacifist person. Almost everybody was like, yeah, it's like, no one wanted to support it, but no one was necessarily angry about it either. And exactly, the Rainier brand is currently owned and operated by the Pabst Brewing Company, and so I do drink some Union-made Pabst beer, but with my second choice is always Rainier. But yeah, the Neon R was refurbished by Western Neon. And on display at Seattle's Museum of History and Industry. Yeah, Western Neon also created the new R. So that's what's so frustrating is like, dude, you had the original R. You were the one who built the original R. You're the one who maintained and refurbished the original R, and then you were tasked with creating the replacement R. How did you mess it up? Why did you change things? But, change is inevitable. And I sound like an old person right there. Quote me on that, dude. Like, why did you change things? Is the cry of everyone over the age of 50. Yep, all right. So on that grim truth, it is about 5 minutes until the bottom of the hour, so we should probably think about wrapping things up. I am assuming if y'all can, the original R's is in the White House now. No, it's locked away in a museum. I wish the other one was also locked away in a museum, but, or just maybe locked away, whatever. Whatever's easiest. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming in and chatting about nothing and everything. I want to thank Baby Bo, even though he's not here, for hooking me up with the Too Good To Go. I think we actually had some moderator action today, and so I want to thank the moderators for coming in with swords drawn and ready to go pew, pew, pew. Swords don't make that noise. But anyway, we will hopefully see each other on Saturday, 6 p.m. at Mapstatter on Twitch. I'm not sure what movie it will be, but what I can tell you is this. It's going to be way higher budget, way better acted, with way better actors and actresses than what we watched last week. How can I make such a promise? You weren't here last week, were you? Oh, no smacking happened today? Oh, okay. Well, I thought I saw, I think somebody came in, we just pointed and laughed at him and let him go. Somebody came with viewers. But we don't need no stinking best viewers, because they're not best viewers, because if they're just bots, they don't chat. And that's the worst kind of viewer. Whereas I've got the best viewers, why do I need to go find more? I mean, how can I find better? More's good, though, because, it's always good to have more people at the party. And as long as we know where to get a 5-gallon bucket of ranch, we can handle more people at the party. Don't you think? You were on mobile half the show, so I didn't see it driving. Well, it was very much not a huge disturbance. I just pointed and laughed at him and carried on, so it's all good. It's all good. And you're here. You were vaguely paying attention while driving, which you probably shouldn't have been doing. And then you came and I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. Oh, no worries, y'all, no worries. Oh, but what I was going to ask is, Rick and Darlene, they weren't here today, I see, which, no problems, but they're probably up north, right? Does anybody know? Do we know? I hope they're up north. Just because it's off season for other vacationers, that's all I mean. Anyway, so, I hope to see you on Saturday. Who knows what movie we're going to be watching, and if we don't see each other on Saturday, maybe we will see each other on Sunday at 5 p.m. West Coast time. Pinnell coming in with the knowledge, yes, up north. I had a feeling that was the case. And Puzzycat coming in at the last minute. 2-minute warning. And yes, it's the Cabiniferous period. That is exactly it. Okay, so we will see each other soon. And yeah, who knows what we'll be talking about next time. Enjoy. I don't know if it's hot where you're at, but it's hot here. So enjoy the beginning of summer, hopefully. And if it's not, I hope you still